Welcome to my Desert Journeys art show. And I am going to take you on a quick little tour of some desert paintings I've done over the years. I love painting in the desert. It's very meditative to me, and there's a lot of color for me in the desert. So I'm going to show you these paintings. I'll put them also, when I post this, I'll have a link to a special page on my website where you can look at these more closely, and pricing and everything will be on there. I'll have special pricing just for about 2 weeks leading up to the holidays for a little Christmas shopping, and there'll be 30% off for those 2 weeks. So enjoy, and off we go here. So let's start here. I'm actually going to start on the other side here. This is kind of a fun one. This is actually a guy out walking. You can see those desert colors, and it's a hot day, and that's on Route 66. So he's at the Monterey Motel. And we've got, here's the name of the show, Desert Journeys. And right underneath that is the Artist Palette Canyon at Death Valley. I was camping there last December, and the hills, the rock and the soil there really is this color. It's just it's crazy. All these different colors are in there. I went hiking in there just to make sure, and that I painted that on location. This one right below it is in Joshua Tree, and I just, the full moon really spoke to me, and you see the campers down below tucked in for the night. And below that one is the Salton Sea, which is a really crazy place near Palm Springs. And this is, right at sunset. It's actually below sea level, and you see the Salton Sea's lit up with a glow because it's late in the day, and the sun's hitting that. And then this is also late in the day. This is right by the airport in Palm Springs. And the mountains have this glow at that time of day, which is really special, something that I love. Across from that is Joshua Tree with a unusual dusting of snow. So I call this one Winter Magic. And it's a little small one that's just really fun. And then one of my special places for my soul and psyche is New Mexico, where I'm originally from. And this is the Mission Church in Golden, New Mexico. And it's on the Turquoise Trail, which is the back road from Albuquerque to Santa Fe. And above that is El Rancho Verde, which is an abandoned motel in the middle of the California desert. And you wonder what stories that place has, if those walls could talk. So that's a fun place. I love the shape of the sign and the colors of the building. And then we've got the obligatory George O'Keeffe skull. And above that is a place, I call this Thanksgiving Quiet. And I painted this last Thanksgiving in just near Idlewild, California. We stayed in an A-frame cabin. And that's kind of where the desert starts turning into the mountains. And I was out on the deck of the A-frame cabin. I wanted to capture the hills and the mountains just kind of disappearing into each other there. This one is a house that was designed and built earlier this year for Modernism Week in the hills of Palm Springs, up in what they call Desert Palisades. And that is an architect named Lockyer, and it's just the coolest house. It's all black on the outside and just kind of fits into the desert landscape in a way you might not imagine. Below that is a painting I did when I woke up camping in Borrego State Park, and you see these beautiful hills. And then this Ocotillo plant, which I love. We've got a couple of these ourselves. And at that time of the year, they have these blossoms that are really orange at the end of each spike, and they kind of look like birds to me sitting on the end of each spike. And then below that is another painting of camping in Joshua Tree, and there's just beautiful rock formations there, and the color of the sky at that time of night. There's no lights around other than what's in the campers' tents, so you get those dark skies. And then coming up here, we've got, I call this late golden haze. And this is Joshua Tree on a rare misty day. You get a sense of the colors involved there, and it's kind of a very mystical place. This one I called Buenos Dias, Mother Earth. And I painted this early in the morning. Literally felt like the earth was just waking up. And the sun was hitting the fields, the backs of the trees, and starting to warm everything up. And then below that is late in the day. You're starting to see a trend here. And I call this the road to somewhere. So this is in Joshua Tree, and there's just tons of roads like this that you wonder, does anybody live down there? Where does that road go? Does it go anywhere? And then you look closely and you can see there's signs of civilization, include, buildings, houses, even some telephone poles. And so I called it the road to somewhere, because that is somewhere for somebody. And the last one I'll show you here, I call this social togetherness. So when I was leaving the campground a year ago in Borrego, and you're coming along literally in the middle of nowhere, and I saw these two vintage trailers huddled up next to each other. And I just thought, there's all this space, but they're right next to each other, but that's probably for protection. And it was when we were all supposed to be doing social distancing. So I call this social togetherness, because they were doing the opposite. And that is my Desert Journeys show. And I will post this along with a link to the website page that you can check out. It's real easy to buy right from there. I'll have 30% discount for 2 weeks. Here's my little studio with my desert plants that are made out of metal. There you go. Low maintenance. Got my little Zia symbol from New Mexico. And the Buddha over there is celebrating the Desert Journeys show. So thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye. And hasta la vista.